Hi, this is Melanie for Pardesi Reviews. I'm here to do a review of the Hindi film India's Most Wanted starring Arjun Kapoor. If you're new to Pardesi Reviews, I do film reviews and trailer reactions for Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, and Malayalam cinema. I am a big fan of Arjun Kapoor, and he has had a really checkered last few movies. Some have really been flops, some have just done okay. He hasn't had a really big hit in a while. On paper, this film probably looked perfect. It's a real-life story about a group of IB agents who went on their own to Nepal to catch India's Osama bin Laden Yusuf, who was charged with being the mastermind and planting bombs that killed scores of people and injured hundreds of people. He was a notorious terrorist. Arjun Kapoor plays the head of this group of agents that go to find him, but because they go in Nepal, they can't bring their guns, they can't bring weapons. They're just kind of on their own. There's all these character actors that I'm not really familiar with. The person that plays Yusuf is someone that I know from Malayalam cinema. That is Sudev Nair. I've known him from a film like Ezra and a couple of other Malayalam films, and he's in the most recent Atiran, starring Sai Pallavi and Fahad Fazil. He is a name in Malayalam cinema, but I don't know that he's that well known in Hindi cinema. I have an issue with the way this film was directed. So it's Raj Kumar Gupta. His last film, Raid, I really enjoyed that one with Ajay Devgan. I really enjoyed that one. I liked the way that the whole thing was put together. It was just a really fun movie. I haven't seen his other famous film, No One Killed Jessica. This is one where on paper it was like, okay, you have this real life story of how these agents went to another country and they nabbed this terrorist and they did it on their own, and it's not Mission Impossible. Okay, like they didn't have all the gadgets, they didn't have all the tech, they didn't have, satellites or whatever. It's legwork and working sources and getting the job done. And also believing that they could do it when they were bucking against everyone else saying, I'm sure the terrorist is in Pakistan. They're trying to keep true to the real life story, and I admire that. But the screenplay and the way that they set up flashbacks, we open with one of the bombings, and then kind of interspersed throughout the film, either we'll hear the sound of an explosion or we'll just see a photograph of a mangled car or a mangled motorcycle, and it's supposed to give us that tension again about how many bombs that this Yusuf person had done. And instead, for me, it just made me annoyed, like, we got it already. Okay, we got it. He's a terrorist. It didn't add to the tension to me at all. At the very end, they describe the things that he was plotting, and I felt like it would have been more tense if they hired an actor to play this guy. It would have been more tension for me if we had seen him building bombs, plotting out his next thing, and it's the race against the clock, right? Are they going to find him before he can put his next plan in place? That would have added more tension than just we're in the present day of 2013 and suddenly we're switching to 2006. Like, it just didn't make narrative sense to me or film sense as far as building tension. Arjun Kapoor, I like, but the way he played this part, he almost always just had this expression like it was the same for so many scenes of just, oh, I'm just really standing here thinking about this. I don't know. It lacked an intensity that I have seen him give in other films, and I don't know what it was, but it just didn't quite gel with me. The one performance that I really enjoyed was Rajesh Sharma played his boss, who kind of encouraged them to buck the system and then was trying to find them back up and so forth amongst the higher ups. And then he would just kind of get this little secret smile like, I know my guy is just doing it. And I just loved the way he was saying one thing, but you, the audience, could see that he was thinking another thing. He was really fun to watch in this. There's several members of Arjun Kapoor's group. He's the leader of this whole group of men, of agents that go to Nepal. There wasn't much that really distinguished them all. There's the older guy, there's the young trainee, but none of them really stood out. And I don't know if they were trying to keep it like the real story because it's a true life. I don't know, but they didn't take much artistic license there to kind of liven the film up. I just didn't have necessarily that tension. The film was okay. It's one that I would say you could watch when it comes on streaming, but I'm not going to encourage you to go and spend money and see it in the theater. I don't know that it's worth it, which is a disappointment. I had a lot of issues with it. Things that I felt could have been better. Let me know what you thought if you did see this film, or when you saw the trailer, what you thought about it, and if it was a film that appealed to you that you wanted to see. Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Please do subscribe here to Pardesi Reviews. And if you hit the bell when you subscribe, then you'll get a notification for every new film review and trailer reaction.